Hello, this is Allyse. I'm hoping you're having a great day. You're listening to the Daily Mentor Calls. This is call number 34. We are going to talk today about something that's really fun, and it's one of the easiest high enrolling recruiting methods. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory. I was in Europe and working with some European teams, and I remember about 10 of them came to my home in Europe, and we were doing a training. And I was looking at this group, and most of them had never done business before. Some of them were in their 60s, some of them were in their 20s. And so they were all at different places in the business, but most were at like lower ranks. And they were telling me that the hardest part of their business was to find new people, which I think that many of us feel the same way, right? And I realized that before they would open up to really training with me and listening to how we do the business, they first had to build a confidence that they could find and recruit new people, because they really didn't believe that they could find new people. And so I said to them, okay, I'm going to give you a challenge. And I want every single one of you next month, because we were going to do like a monthly training where they came to my house, spent the night, and we were there for 2 days, right? And next month, I want every single one of you to find 20 new people. And their eyes just got really, really big. And they're like, I'm sure some of them are like, I haven't even signed up 20 people the entire time that I've been in doTERRA, right? And I said, if I were to show you exactly how to find 20 new people within a month period of time, would that build your confidence? And they're like, oh my goodness, like that would change everything. And so I taught them about studies. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about studies. Basically, many people have their defenses up when it comes to network marketing. You know, they seem interested in the oils and they seem interested in natural healthcare, but when they find out that as part of network marketing, it's almost like, boom, all their defenses go up, and it's hard to overcome that. But what I found is that people being involved in a study, there are absolutely no defenses that go up. And a study provides a simple and non-threatening way to introduce essential oils to many new people and to help enroll a lot of them at the end of the study, right? So we decided that we were going to have studies in Europe. And through the study process, people will use the oils. They actually have a chance to track and report their experience, because they receive the oils for free in the study. And then they receive ongoing education. And then they also get kind of integrated into a community. It's a Facebook group, and then our doTERRA community, right? And it becomes an incredible way of finding a lot of people. So this study process, I've done it over and over and over and over, all over the world, right? And what I want you to know is, don't tweak anything with the process. We've tried so many different things, and we've got it to the point where it's basically perfected if you follow the study process. So what I did with these women is I said, okay, I'm just going to train you on what this study looks like. And then I'm going to give you a couple of scripts, and before you leave my home, you're going to make 3 calls. And we're going to see how those calls go. And I'm going to show you exactly how to make these calls, right? So anyway, we trained. I told them all about the study, what we were going to do. And then each of them made 3 calls, and they all came back after their calls. Like, they went in different parts of my house and they were calling, right? And they all came back and they're like, every person said yes. Everybody is interested. So this is for people that possibly haven't gone to your classes, or possibly they weren't interested at the time, or that you were too chicken on your chicken list. But it is for people that haven't already joined doTERRA. This is not for your downline. They already know the oils are awesome. It will just be more expensive for you. It's to find brand new people. So they were excited. So they left, and I told them, I will help pay for the oils in your study, but you can't come back next month. I was pretty intense. You can't come back next month unless each of you have 20 people. So I'm not going to train you again unless you bring 20 people, unless you have 20 people. And they're like, okay. So anyway, a month goes by, and of course their leaders are working with them. They're following the system, and they come back the next month. Now there was 10 of them. So 20, if each person got 20, that should be 200, right? So they came back, and I'm like, well, how did it go? And they said this, I'm not kidding. Like, I even thought it was an exaggeration. And I drilled them on it. Are you sure? And this is what they said. Every single person that we called wanted to join the study. We didn't have one no. Not any of us. None of us had one no. In fact, they told me, we turned away 150 people. I'm like, what? What do you mean you turned away 150 people? And they said, well, you told us we could only have 20. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And we wanted to do it exactly like you said, because we wanted to come back and train. And so I said, okay, next time don't turn away anybody. But actually it worked out good that they did, because they joined the next study, and it probably would have been too many people for them to handle. But every single one of them, every person that they called said yes to the study. There's something about a study that people feel like is legitimate, that they feel like it's free, it's legitimate. I can work on my ailments without any pressure, right? Now, you don't have to call this a medical study. It's not like, some people get caught up in, but it's not, approved by the FDA or whatever. This is just a study that we do. We give them a quiz or a test before of what they're, how bad they're dealing with this ailment. And then at the end, we just, as they've used the product, we have them fill out the same questionnaire and see how well they've progressed. Now, let me tell you really quickly about the key elements of the study. So studies can take place over a 7, a 14, or a 21-day period of time. I really like 14 days. It seems like it's enough time for people to get a lot of results and to be integrated into the community. And so I stick with 14-day studies. I like it. So once again, this is not a medical study. This study is to find individuals who have not used essential oils or other doTERRA products. And it's to help them fall in love with and start using the products, right? And the studies work best when you gather participants at the end or the beginning of the month. And so by the end of that month, a lot more volume is coming in from the people that have signed up, right? Right before you have to, rank, or right before you're getting ready for end of month. So each participant will receive, number 1, an initial questionnaire. Number 2, a schedule for the 2-week study and the classes. Number 3, oils for the study. Number 4, an A to Z guide and a final questionnaire. Now, you will need to set up a Facebook group for all your study participants, especially if you're running multiple studies at the same time, which I highly, highly recommend, but I'll get into that. So you have an initial and a concluding questionnaire, but it's the same. It's the same questionnaire for all the participants, right? And we have here some samples for you to use. So these are the study topics that we found most effective for the studies. Digestion, okay, pain, sleep, and stress and mood. So digestive problems, pain, sleep, stress, and mood. And each of the wellness advocates needs to keep in regular contact with their participants over the study. It's not just you just give them the oils and then ask them to sign up at the end. That won't work. It won't work at all. So before I start and go through just step by step, I want to tell you that we had mixed results at the first until we started tweaking our studies. And we found this, that people, like the results were quite, like if someone brought 20 people, some people would only sign up 2 people. And some people would sign up 18 out of the 20. And so we studied what We reviewed what those people were doing with their 18 people that were signing up, and we started tweaking the study process so everyone was doing the same thing, and enrollments got higher and higher and higher, right? So if you're doing live studies and you're doing it right, you're doing it well, you can expect literally 16 to 18, 19 people out of the 20 that will sign up with a kit. If you're doing, online studies, that number goes down. It always does. So step number 1, we need to identify the study participants, okay? So about 1 to 2 weeks before you start the study, you need to find and invite all the people to participate in the study, people that are not enrolled in doTERRA. Now remember, you want to consider getting the influencers into the study, right? So the people that have 4, 5, 6, 7 stars, or, our rating system, those that have the most characteristics of really great builders, those are the ones that you're wanting in the study. If you're only inviting, 70 or 80-year-olds into the study, you're going to have a different experience, and you're mostly going to find product users. You're not going to find sharers or builders. So that's the first thing. You need to really consider who you're inviting into the study. Next, look for and invite people that are dealing with specific issues related to the study topic. But the cool thing is if you call them and say, hey, we're doing it on stress and anxiety, pain, sleep, and digestive problems, almost everybody has one of those things. So that's why when our people called, almost everybody fit into one of those categories. Now, next, do multiple studies at the same time. And that way, you don't have to call somebody and say, we're doing a pain study. Oh, you don't have any pain? Okay, I'll call you back later when we have our stress and anxiety study. Do them all at the same time so that when you call somebody, they can all, you can cast a wider net and you get people. Have as many people on your team inviting people to participate. So this is how some of actually my diamonds, how they went blue diamond. They did a massive study across their team. They had all their leaders and sharers go out and find 10 to 20 people. And can you imagine? Like if you had 10 people finding 10, it's 100. If you had 10 people, finding 20, it's 200. If you had 50 people on your team, if you have a big team, the numbers are astronomical, right? And it just brings a huge influx in. So each team member should invite about 10 to 20 participants. Don't do more than 20. It gets really hard to follow up with more than 20 people. Step 2, before a study, live class, the study begins. And this is really important. You need to have a live class. If you're doing a live study, not online, you have to make sure they sign up for a live class. That was one of the critical points for high enrollment. And those people that didn't have a live class, their enrollment rates went way down. So in this class, it's basically our essential oils class, but it's just half of the class. It's a welcome, it's an explanation. It's an explanation that it's not a medical study. And you explain the goal of the study is to compare each participant's personal results from 1 week to the next. You talk about the 3 cool things about oils, the 3 ways that you use oils. You remind everyone that everyone's bodies are different, that we'll find a solution that works for you, right? You review the products that we'll be using. So you go over, the things for pain. You go over the things for digestion. You go over the things for stress and anxiety. And you go over the things for sleep. You show the products for all 4 studies at once. And it's really good because you want people there to think, well, doTERRA doesn't just do sleeping things or things to help us with stress and anxiety. They have a whole wide range of products, right? You review the schedule and the expectations, okay? You actually provide the schedule for the 2-week study. You give it to them. And then you have them sign a form that says that they will do all of these things if they are in the study, right? That they'll come to a live class, that they'll use the oils. They have a form there. And then you pass physical copies of the initial questionnaire around. So you hand out all the copies of the questionnaire. They fill out the questionnaire so they know where they are at the beginning. And then you give them the oils and the A to Z guides for the study. That's how you start. Now, step number 3 is to check up with them. Call each participant 2 days after the live class, just like we've trained you with sampling and following up, right? And you ask them how their experience has been. Have you had the opportunity to use your oils yet? And use that effective sampling method, right? And do it until they have a wow experience, even if you have to take different oils for them in the study for them to try. Step 4, we add them to a Facebook group, okay? And the reason why we add them to a Facebook group is because we want them to learn more, and we want them to actually start becoming a part of our essential oil community, right? So remember, just use one Facebook group for all the studies, because people will hear and see experiences from all the other studies, and that's a really good thing for them to see, that it's working on lots of other ailments and not just mine. And after you've added the participants, then that's when you try and get energy in the group really, really high, and I'll show you how. Step 4 is how you run the Facebook group. So our European team, what they did is they had a video every single day, a short video. It was like a 5-minute video. They actually just ran around my house and did videos in my kitchen and my bathroom. And this is what lemon can do in the kitchen and the bathroom. And this is what lemon does, when you drink it, and it cleanses your body and not just your house. And they talked about all the oils that people were actually using in the study. And so they have a short video of an oil every day. And also, they had basically every day they had a challenge, right? And this is so important. It's super, super important. So for instance, if you're doing a video on lemon, then you can say, hey, everyone that posts us 5 ways that they use lemon today will receive a free sample of lemon. So one of the cool things about this Facebook group is they get the opportunity to receive a lot more samples, and they love it. And sometimes you give incentives for the first person that does this gets a whole bottle of peppermint, or everyone that does this by 10 p.m., receives a sample of this. So get creative, use the oils. You can use sample bottles and keychains and all sorts of types of giveaways. One of the things I loved that they did was they had a challenge where if they posted on the Facebook group a message that they sent to somebody else, like took a picture of it, a screenshot, and posted it, a message that they sent to someone else about their great experiences with the oils, they received a sample that day. And all of a sudden, right, people start sharing. Naturally, they start sharing. You can have a special guest come on for a live Facebook. You can do all sorts of different things that you want to do, right? So that's the Facebook group. And it's really important that they're in that group. It's really important. If you just put everybody in the group and just let them sit there, they won't do anything. That's why they have to have videos and challenges every single day. And it's super, super fun. And this is how they kind of learn every day about essential oils and get excited. Step number 6 is you have a post-study live class, if you're doing it live, or a post-study online class, right? So the class after the study is where everyone enrolls. This is where all the little prizes that they earned are handed out, because if they don't go to the class, they don't get all their prizes that they won, which is a great incentive for them to go. It's where you share the enrollment specials. It's where your study produces actual results right here. So basically what you do is you just teach the second half of your Intro to Oils class. So you welcome everyone and you thank everyone for participating, and then you open it up for testimonials. And just like your oils class, you tell people, okay, if you can keep your testimonial to under a minute and talk about a different experience, that somebody else has talked about, then you can have a sample, and you have everyone come up and they're sharing, and it's great. It's awesome. This is where people are like, oh my goodness, it's working for everybody here. It's been amazing. So they get exposed to other areas of health concerns. They see the other studies and how it affected people. Then that's where you give out the prizes for the study. You share your most powerful testimonial, but you're going to do, right, the last half of the class. So you're going to offer, you do there's 3 ways that you can purchase the oils type thing, right? And you offer, you tell them the 3 ways that you purchase the oils. You talk about the enrollment incentives. So give incentives that last only 48 hours. Some people actually give a little coupon and say this is a coupon that just lasts for 48 hours, and you can give them incentives. Some people give different incentives, like if you buy a family physician kit, you get a deep blue rub, or if you buy a home essentials kit, you get a Roman chamomile, or if you buy a bigger kit, right? It's awesome when doTERRA already has like an incentive going on for a 200 plus enrollment special, because doTERRA actually ends up giving them the incentive. Or some people just say, everyone receives the same thing if they enroll within 48 hours. It could be a book, it could be a keychain full of oils, it could be lots of different kinds of things. Then you close the class as you would a normal class. You pass out the books, the enrollment forms, you book classes off of classes, just like we do, and you have your basic business intro. So, well, a couple of things. And by the way, it's phenomenal. They're fantastic. What if you can't do classes live? Well, then you do them online. But you know that the enrollment rates go down, right? And what if people don't live in the same area? Then you use online classes. What about if people don't come to the class for their prize? Well, it's kind of your call, but it's more effective to only give the prizes out if they actually come to the class, right? So that's a basic study. And the great thing about this is that you can do it anytime you feel like enrollments are low. Anytime people are getting frustrated and hitting walls, you can run a study for your team. You can do it in the summers. You can do it in February when it seems to be a little bit lower. You can do it every month. You can do it as often or as little as you want. And it's kind of the basic, easiest way to generate a lot of new people and a lot of new volume. Now, I'm going to actually put a link to Kyle Kirschbaum. He's developed a system for the study that he's kind of systematized everything. So it's really easy for you to go through and follow the system. It's a one-time fee, and then you can use this over and over and over again when you use studies. You can either put it together yourself or use his, but I'll give you a link and you can check it out and see what you think. But I absolutely 100% recommend studies. And I've had tons of success with them all over the world. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.